Almost is swamped. Pogacar tries to sprint for the line. Lund Anderson, Dainese, and here comes Ethan Vernon from Great Britain and Jonathan Milan. Milan finishing fast. Malia on the other side of the road. Milan with the charge for the line. Goodbye, and Malia gets there in the end. Wow! Wow! What a sprint!
Stage 4 then, from Aquitaine to Andorra, the longest of the 2024 Giro d'Italia to date, at least, with a significant climb in the middle. Another opportunity towards the end, potentially for Tadej Pogacar to attack over the Capo Melle. Breakaway went away early, featuring a number of speculative riders, including Filippo Ganna for Ineos Grenadiers, who briefly joined 3 other riders at the front of the race. Built up a lead of around about 1 minute and 23 seconds, with a peloton nervously reacting to the presence of Filippo Ganna before he thought better of his presence in the breakaway, said goodbye to his companions and dropped back to the peloton, much to the relief of Soudal Quickstep and the other teams chasing. That left 3 riders up front, Lilian Calmejean, Stefan de Bod and Francisco Munoz, making his debut at the Giro d'Italia, the young Spaniard for Polti Cometa. Lilian Calmejean in pursuit of more King of the Mountains points. Another day in the breakaway for him. The Polti Cometa rider Munoz, though, taking the maximum number of points at the first bonus sprint. And from behind, Caden Groves winning the sprint amongst the other contenders for the Maglia Ciclamino for the minor points. In the fog then, at the top of the only categorised climb of the day before the drop down to the coast, Lilian Calmejean added 9 points to his tally. And in terrible conditions and wet roads, the peloton went over the top of the climb with Fabio Jakobsen in difficulties off the back. 3 riders then persisting with a 3 minute and 43 second advantage over the peloton. Lilian Calmejean following the moves of Munoz, all still together. Jonathan Narvaez in difficulty off the back. Number of riders just a little bit distanced in these wet roads. The Intergiro sprint also going the way of Francisco Munoz, ahead of another minor skirmish among some of the other contenders at Altare. Terrible conditions then as the race continued to dip down to Savona, and a big crash saw Ben O'Connor delayed and in difficulties with his Decathlon Étoile Mondiale team, and Biniam Gramai in difficulties. Wet roads then as they headed to the last of the bonus sprints at Savona. Meanwhile, back up the mountain, Biniam Gramai was forced to abandon the race, having crashed twice in the wet roads. The peloton then split on the coastal roads and eventually coming back together again, with Danny Martinez the wrong side of a split and having to work hard to get back to where the favourites were with Tadej Pogacar and Geraint Thomas. That left 2 riders up the road, Stefan de Bod and Francisco Munoz, after Lilian Calmejean gave up. And they had a decent lead of 1.5 minutes with 30.4 kilometres remaining, and 3 teams sharing the work to bring this back for a stage for the sprinters. Lidl Trek then setting things up as they approach the Capo Melle. 17 seconds the advantage, heading towards the foot of the final climb for the 2 riders at the front of the race with 6 kilometres remaining. It seemed unlikely that they would stay away, and indeed Francisco Munoz and Stefan de Bod were caught, and that was the signal for Filippo Ganna from the foot of the Capo Melle to launch a big attack with 4 kilometres remaining. He was still out front with 3 kilometres to go, forcing Matteo Trentin at first to try and react. He opened up a big advantage, but was reeled in inside the final kilometre by Lidl Trek and his Olympic teammate from the track, Simone Consoni, riding for Lidl Trek, with his teammate Jonathan Milan on the wheel.
With one lead-out man, Edward Turn sprinting for the line. Milan yet to open up his sprint. Here comes Christophe Laporte in the white jersey. Bauhaus, and it's Coy alongside Milan. Olaf Coy, Milan hits the front. Here comes Malia with a charge. Malia pushing for the line. Milan holding off Bauhaus. Milan for the line. Milan just about taking the win.
In the Maglia Ciclamino standings, he takes over from Malia. An event-free day for Tadej Pogacar for a change. Point standings, well, Milan leads from Malia, as we've seen. And Tadej Pogacar leads the King of the Mountains by 19 points to Lilian Kalmjan. Jan Uitenbroeks has grown his advantage by 1 second in the young riders' overall standings.